The latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll has both good and bad news for President Trump. That poll asked Americans how they feel about the president's overall job performance, the economy, and how he's handled the mass shootings in El Paso and Dayton. Steve Kornacki here now to break down this poll. So, Steve, why don't we start with the good news for the president? What is favorable for him in here?
Yeah, there's not a lot of great news for him, but I think there's probably two things that, from Trump's standpoint, maybe he could build on. Number one is just strictly looking at his performance on the economy, asking folks the question, do you approve of Donald Trump's handling of the economy? He's in positive territory there. It's 49% approve of his handling of the economy, 46% disapprove. Obviously, if that was your overall approval rating, that would be a pretty positive sign for re-election. So strictly on the economy, that's not a bad number for Donald Trump. The other thing that might be encouraging from the Trump standpoint is the negative views of his likely Democratic opponents. If you ask that question, do you have a positive or negative view of X for Elizabeth Warren, for Bernie Sanders, and now for Joe Biden? All of them are in negative territory there. More people now say they have a negative view of all three of those prospective Democratic candidates than a positive view. So the possibility there for Donald Trump, obviously, I think if he's going to win re-election in 2020, he's probably going to have to win it ugly. It's probably going to have to look kind of like it did in 2016. And one of the things he needed in 2016 was for his opponent, Hillary Clinton, then to be very unpopular. There are signs that maybe the Democrats who are likely to run against him may end up pretty unpopular, too.
Steve, something we should note, though, those poll numbers were taken before that big drop in the Dow. We saw it lose 800 points last Wednesday. How does that play into things? Because obviously a lot of people are much more concerned about the economy now.
Right. Well, when I say not a lot of great news for Trump in the poll, that's the other way of looking at that question on the economy. If before that he was 49% approve on the economy, 46% disapprove, obviously a question of has the last week changed anything on that? And I think a bigger question of if the economy now moves in a more negative direction. And that's a big if, but let's see. There are some obviously some ominous signs right now. But if the economy moved in that direction and he's starting out at 49%, 46% approve on the economy, could that number get worse for him? If that's his best number now in good economic times and the next year plus brings less positive economic news, that could end up being a negative for him. So, yeah, when I say it's not a great poll, it's probably because of that.
So, Steve, given that information and according to the poll, are people who think that he's doing a good job with the economy likely to vote for the president in 2020?
A lot of them are, his overall approval rating. We say on the economy it's 49% approve, 46% disapprove. His overall approval rating, just the complete job he's doing as president, it's not quite keeping pace, though, with that number on the economy. It's 43% approve overall, 49% on the economy. And what he's losing there, I think, there's a potentially critical number of voters. It's small but potentially critical who think he's doing a good job on the economy but don't like how he's handling the presidency overall. I think that gets to sort of his behavior as president. Maybe it's, what he says on Twitter. Maybe it's just more generally the way he uses the bully pulpit, insulting people, being very inflammatory. In particular, in the wake of those mass shootings in El Paso and Dayton, the question is asked in this poll, do you approve of how the president handled those mass shootings? Majority disapprove. 52% in this poll disapprove of Trump's handling of those instances. 36% approve. Traditionally, with presidents in moments of national crisis, moments of national tragedy, you tend to see a public rallying around the president, at least on that. That's not been the case with Donald Trump, and that might be one of the reasons why even some folks, not a lot, but some folks who think he's doing a good job on the economy don't give him good grades overall. And in a close election, that could be very significant.
So, Steve, we just threw a lot of numbers at people. If we asked viewers, if they wanted a general takeaway from this, how should they view this poll? What does it say, big picture, for the president?
Yeah, I think big picture for the president, a 43% approval rating is extremely shaky for an incumbent president to take into re-election. So from Trump's standpoint, he probably wants that to be a couple points higher. And then I think the big variable, the big X factor in all of this is the state of the economy. Where is it now versus where is it a year from now, a year plus from now? If it moves into a worse place, if it moves into a substantially worse place, and he's already shaky to begin with, that's when you get into potentially, the bottom falling out territory. But we will see, politically, we will see where that goes, though, for him.
Yeah, we got a ways to go. Steve Kornacki, thanks for breaking down those numbers, the latest poll on the president. Thank you.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.